Now we come to mirrors and reflections. So what do you mean by a mirror? A mirror is an object which reflects light. Simple. A mirror is an object which reflects light. So how can you create a mirror? A mirror is created by taking a glass. You just take a piece of clear glass and you paint it with a silver coating. You take the silver metal, you powder it, you make it into a powder form, you take a brush and you coat it. Just by putting a fine silver coating, what happens? You have made one side of the glass opaque and that becomes a mirror. It's transparent on the front side but it's opaque on the back side. But nevertheless, since it's not letting the light pass through it, it will be considered as opaque object. But then, this is the wonderful phenomena when you convert a transparent object into a mirror. So, reflection of light is possible. So, when the incident ray, the light rays which fall on the object is known as incident rays, and the rays which get diverted, they are known as reflected rays. Because the backside has been converted into opaque object, the light will start reflecting. So, this is how reflections take place. Now, because of the silver coating, like I mentioned, how are mirrors created? Very simple. You paint one side of a clear glass with a silver coating, preferably, or maybe there are some other materials available, but no, mostly silver is used in a powdery form to create world-class mirrors. So, mirrors are formed by giving a silver coating on one side of a clear glass plane. Now, we'll study a few instruments which use light and which are absolutely crucial for our everyday life and also for science and technology. For example, telescope, microscope, periscope. What do you mean by a telescope? A telescope is an instrument which enables us to see faraway objects clearly. When two telescopes are combined together for our eyes, they are also known as binoculars. So telescopes and binoculars, they are very similar. When it's just for one eye, that's the telescope. But when it's for two eyes, it's called binoculars because we have the three-dimensional vision. So binoculars. Telescopes are used more efficiently for studying heavenly objects, even for faraway objects, but it's mainly preferred for studying heavenly objects. But for viewing long distances on Earth, binoculars are preferred because we have two eyes, we have three-dimensional vision, and since the binoculars perfectly match our three-dimensional vision, it's very, very suitable for us. So for human viewing. However, the principle is still the same. What is a telescope made up of? A telescope is made up of two convex lenses. Convex lens. A bigger convex lens is placed in the front and a smaller convex lens is placed at the back towards the eyepiece. So what happens when the light rays falls on it? It reflects accordingly and it magnifies based on the laws of physics. Say for example, you want to use the binoculars or you want to use telescope. Say the object, suppose if you are using binoculars, if the object is say 10 kilometers away, you want to see what's happening 10 kilometers away. With our naked eyes, we cannot see. It's so small. Our eyes are not that powerful. But if you use the binoculars, if you just watch it like this, so you can see clearly. There are very powerful binoculars available. You can see for even hundreds of kilometers. So you can see them clearly. So the next instrument which we'll study is microscope. What do you mean by microscope? A microscope is an object, is an instrument. A microscope is an instrument used to study minute particles, very small particles. You keep it under a slide and you study them. It will be way more enlarged. Suppose if you want to study bacteria or virus, you can prepare a slide of bacteria and you can place it below the microscopic lens and you can see a clear and enlarged images of the bacteria or the microorganisms which you want to study. Even a microscope is made up of two convex lenses, but the smaller convex lens is placed in front and the larger convex lens is placed at the eyepiece so that you can see it clearly. The size of the convex lens, be it telescope or microscope, it depends on the requirement. However, based on the requirement and the magnification, the lens size can be modified. So now we come to a wonderful instrument known as periscope. Periscope, it looks like this. I mean, it's made up of 1, 2, 3 tubes and you have two plane mirrors placed at 45 degrees angle, one over here, one over here. The main advantage of periscope is, suppose I'm standing here, I want to see what's going on the top floor. So I can create a pipe, I can create a periscope like this, one on the top floor, I can bend it and I can bend like this, and whenever I want I can see through the eyepiece like this. Okay. So what happens is, the simple principle is, the light rays from the top floor comes over here, it hits at the plane mirror and it's reflected, it once again hits and it's reflected. So the incident ray is reflected twice and it enables us to see. So periscopes are mainly used in submarines and mainly in warfare. Submarines or ships which can swim underwater for long periods of time. Suppose our soldiers want to see which ship is coming, which country's ship is coming. So using the periscope, the soldier can look through it. If it's an enemy ship, then you can attack them. If it's a friendly ship, then you can communicate with them. So the main reason is periscopes enable us to see what's happening above the surface while you can hide below the surface. That's the main advantage of periscopes. So let me recap this chapter: light, shadows and reflections. We discussed about light. Light is an energy which enables us to see things. We discussed about luminous and non-luminous objects. Then transparent, translucent and opaque objects. Then we discussed pinhole camera. Then we studied about mirrors and reflections. And we studied about telescope, also binoculars, three-dimensional vision. Telescope, you don't have the three-dimensional vision because normally you just have one lens. However, the images are very clear and very powerful. Microscope, you can make it three-dimensional effect, but normally only one side lens is used. That's why even scientists, you look at the microscope using one eye, it's more clear. And periscope, even one eyepiece is mainly used. One big eyepiece is used so that you can rotate it and you can see it. It depends on the requirement. All these instruments can be made as per the user specific requirements. So telescope and microscope, they both have two pairs of convex lens, or it can have many pairs of convex lenses. Depends on the magnification required and the user requirements. Even periscopes, the size of the plane mirrors, it depends on the length of the tube, the depth with which you want the periscope to be manufactured. So it depends on various conditions. It depends on the situation over which the periscope has to be used. Whether if it's used for a submarine or for research purposes, depends on the location. So it depends on the requirements. So in this way, we have discussed this chapter: light, shadows and reflections. So if you have any doubts or suggestions, please let us know in the comment section below. Thank you so much. Have a great day.